Hello, hello. Welcome to Real Talk Live with Arnett D. Love. And I had to come to you early, and I hope that's okay with you. Look, what we're going to do today, we're going to talk story, which means on my talk story sessions, I go from one subject to another subject to another subject, and I just keep going with whatever pops up in my head, okay? So we're not going to stay on one topic on this episode, okay? So we're going to start with what happened to me a few minutes ago. My oldest son called me because I've been going all day. All day I had some work to do. And so I said, let me go do my work. Now, listen, a lot of people joke on me because they don't know what I do for a living, right? Well, I don't have to do much for a living because I'm retired, okay? And I've been blessed to retire. And so when people be asking me what I do, I got 3 little small businesses. So I choose which business I'm going to tell them that I do. And but I got some people that call me Tommy, like from the Martin Show, because they can't pinpoint what I do. It doesn't matter. It's funny to me because it really doesn't matter what I do, right? Don't worry about it. Just know that when you call on me, if you need me to come speak, because I am a motivational speaker, I am a life coach certified, and I know some things. So I'm here to be your event speaker. That's all you need to worry about. Do I need love to come in here and put some motivation in the room? Because y'all know that I was a little girl. I was little. I was size 6. I was small. And now I'm a big girl. I'm not a size 6 anymore. Don't worry about how much and all that. But, I mean, you have to accept yourself for who you are. You have to love yourself. And if you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody. Truly, you really can't. And so if it's something about you that you want to change it. There's some things I want to change about myself, but I ain't in no hurry because I love me. And I'm not going to let anybody tell me what needs to be done for me. You don't have to live my life. You don't have to. Okay? And so that's just like, nobody can tell me who needs to be in my life. You cannot tell me who needs to be in my life. Listen, and I'm just going to be straight because this is my show page, okay? My political page is not my show page, and I'm going to still try to keep it cute. But if I don't care for you, it's because of something that you did to me. I don't know how many times I got to keep saying it. And if I don't talk to you, it's because you were very disrespectful to me. Very disrespectful, to the point where it's best that we don't communicate, because I know somewhere in our communication dialogue, you're going to get disrespectful and then I'm going to get displaced one way or the other. And that is why you see me going around people and I don't say a word, because sometimes you have to respect a person by not engaging. Okay. And I see a lot of people that goes around. Okay. Goes around, and because this person or individual is your friend, you stop speaking to me. Well, fine. I don't care, because if you're that weak-minded, that someone can convince you to stop speaking to love because love don't speak to them, I don't want you in my life. I like strong folks. Iron sharpens iron. So keep moving and keep letting people be your handler, okay? And you can, and let me explain something to you. Don't come to me with no foolishness. I'm not pinpoint anyone out. If the shoe fits, you wear the shoe. But I don't care that you're weak enough to allow somebody to convince you to turn on somebody else or to dislike somebody else because they don't like them. You need to pay attention to the individual that has you turning on other people. What is it that they're doing that so many people don't like them? That's where your mind should be. That's what you should be worried about, because love is loved. I'm going to ask you, hold on. Love is loved. People love me and I love them, and I show them love. I show people love. And that's the difference. I show them love. I don't disrespect anybody, okay? But I will not allow you to disrespect me. And that's where a lot of people get off at, because if you don't allow them to disrespect you, that's when they have a problem with you. Well, guess what? You don't have to have a problem with me. Just don't talk to me. Because you will not disrespect me. I'm going to tell you that right now. You just won't. Okay? Because most of the time you'll see me just walk away. Because we're not getting... I'm not even going to go there because it's a non-factor. But, like I said, think about the things that you do. If you allow somebody to convince you... Now, I done spilled some stuff on my thing here. But if you allow somebody to convince you to disassociate yourself with someone else, and I'm talking, stop speaking and all that stuff, and that person haven't done anything to you, baby, you are weak-minded. You are weak-minded, easily to be influenced and manipulated. Get yourself together. Don't be mad at the deliverer. I'm just giving you the message. It is what it is. Stop letting people manipulate you to feel the same way they feel, so you will feel comfortable being around you. You shouldn't want to be around anybody that wants to manipulate your mind. You shouldn't want to be in their vicinity. Okay? You shouldn't. You shouldn't want someone to hold that much power over you that you mad at somebody that you barely know and they haven't done anything to you. But let me be clear. If I be that somebody, I don't care. Okay. And so we have to stop allowing people to guide us into stupidity. Okay? We have to stop allowing people to guide us into stupidity. Look at how other people live their lives. Do you agree with everything they do? With their decisions that they make? Do you agree with that? Do you think, hey, that what she did or what he did is not appropriate? I would have never done that. That should have been handled differently. So if you don't agree with everything they do, why would you let them influence you? Why would you let them motivate you to do something that's so stupid? Huh? That's just like when I was dating at one particular time, okay? I had a friend that, how can I put this? My friend had a man that always cheated on her. Okay, but yet you like to tell me, my friend, how to handle my man. Okay, and so when it came up that possibly that my friend was maybe cheating, okay, you want to tell me to leave mine, right? But the thing was, you didn't leave yours. You didn't leave yours, so why are you going to tell me to leave mine? Let me tell you something. I had a whole different way of living back in the day. If you cheating, we cheating. I'm not leaving my man because he cheating. That wasn't in my vernacular of living. I wasn't going to do it. And so the thing is, I had my own mind. You have to have your own mind. Come on, people. You have to have your own mind. You can't allow people to convince you to stop dealing or associating with people just because that person don't associate with them. My friends don't have to be your friends and vice versa, because whatever y'all got going on between each other has absolutely nothing to do with me. And I want you to understand that you don't get to choose who I deal with. Okay? You don't get to choose who I deal with, and I want y'all like me. I want y'all to feel the same way. I want you to be bold enough to tell people that you do not get to choose who I allow in my life. You do not get to choose who I call my friend. You can be a friend, and one of the people that's not your friend can also be a friend to me. And just know I am that friend that I'm not going back there talking about you either. A person that talks about you, or a person that talks about another person to you, baby, believe me when I tell you that they will talk about you to someone else. It's just a matter of time. Stop thinking that all these people that you know are messy aren't doing the same to you that they're doing to other people. You see what I'm saying? Don't think that. My friends that I have, that I call my close friends, they know I'm not talking about them. They know that that ain't happening. Never have they heard me say anything that we discussed. Never have they heard it to be repeated. Okay? Not ever. Because that don't happen when you have a real friend. But I am telling you that if your friend is messy, your friend is messy with everybody, not just you. And then sometimes you have to ask yourself, why does this person offends you so much? Or ask them, why does this person offend you so much? What is the problem between you and this person? And I can guarantee you that it bows down or it starts, the core of it is a sense of jealousy. It's a little bit of jealousy. And I always say, this is me. I say, what in the world? What in the world does anybody want to be jealous of me for? There is so much, for me to do and for me to have. Why would anybody want to be jealous of me? I just couldn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? But then when you think about it, it doesn't take anybody much to be jealous. It don't take much for a person to be jealous of. It could be something small. It could be your relationship with someone else that they're envious of. It could be anything. It could be the fact, let me put it for myself. It could be the fact that I am a full-figured woman and I'm not ashamed of myself. I'm not to where I gotta go out and do this surgery or this surgery, this surgery. Now, don't get me wrong, I ain't got no problem with a little cosmetic surgery, because if these doggone leg lifts don't work, baby, something going on with this timing. But I'm gonna do my leg lifts first and see if I can get it down. If I can't get it down, I'm gonna, take care of it. But people be envious for the strangest things. They be jealous of relationships that you have with other people. To me, it's ridiculous and it's not necessary. It's a non-factor, okay? And so my whole thing is, I think that it's ignorant to allow someone to tell you who to be friends with. And I give people the respect. When I see a person that chooses for themselves, that get to know the individual, when I see that type of person, baby, I have nothing but respect for them. The utmost respect for them. Oh my goodness, I love to see it. I like I said, I love to see it. It's amazing. It is amazing to see an individual that chooses for themselves who they're going to have in their life and who they are going to love. And I have nothing but respect for that individual. And I mean, it doesn't have to be with me. It's just when I see it, in the community that, somebody that others have tried to downplay, tried to treat as if they're not good enough. And I see people just choosing that, oh, no, you don't get to tell me who I'm going to like or who I'm going to deal with, baby. That is something to be respected, okay? And I let me know, let you know. Let me get it straight. Let you know that love respects that kind of going on and carrying on, okay? So I want you to check yourself. Check your strength level, okay? And because you can change. So if your strength level have you out here mad at folks that haven't done anything to you, come on, regroup. Get a grip and regroup, okay? Be your own person. Don't be weak. Don't be weak. And you don't have to like what I'm saying, but take heed. Don't be weak. Ask that individual, what did they do to you? Because I'm telling you, love haven't done anything to anybody unless you done it to me. And one thing love don't do is kiss behind. I don't do it. I leave you alone first. I act like you don't exist first before I kiss your hind parts. It's not going to happen ever, never, ever, never. Okay. So we talked about that. Now we'll talk about this. My sons called me. Well, one of them called me and said, Mama, we miss you. And like I said, I've been gone all day. And I was like, y'all don't miss me. That thing had a nerve to say. See, is that how you're going to be when you get a man? He going to tell you he miss you and you going to be like, you and me. I'm like, you don't tell me how to talk to a man. I know how to talk to a man. I'm like, all of a sudden y'all want to train me on how to talk to a man or how to act when I get a man. I don't have a man because I don't have a man. I don't want to be bothered with all the foolishness. I don't have time for that right now. My life is on a level where I can do without the drama and the nonsense. And unless you want to do without the drama and the nonsense at my age, I don't want no parts of it. Go play with somebody else. I ain't here to be played with. And I'd rather live in peace and by myself than to have somebody tugging on me and working my nerves, because my nerves are easy to be worked. And guess what? I'm going to leave you alone anyway. Because I don't do drama. And so as a single parent, let me put this out in the atmosphere. I was very overprotective of my children. I had 2 boys and I was in law enforcement. I saw a lot of stuff, a lot of things happen, and especially with women who were dating men and men who came into their lives and the lives of their children, and they took advantage of their children, man. I don't know how many times we had warrants and we were out looking for people because they have violated a child. So in my mind, I was like, I'm not going to bring any of that around my baby. So I stayed single for a long time. Yes, I dated, but I didn't bring anybody around my kids because I did not want to risk anybody violating my children. And so that was one of the reasons I did not get married as a single mother. Call me paranoid, that's fine, but I just saw too much. And my goal was to protect my children. At least today, I knew that they were strong enough to speak up, because what these predators do is they scare these kids. They have them thinking they're going to do something to them or do something to their family and et cetera, and I had to train my kids to know that once you tell me, I'm going to protect you. Once you tell me it's going to be done, I'm going to believe you, okay? I'm going to believe my kids first. Even if it's not true, I'm going to believe my kids, and then we investigate, because I have to make sure that my children were safe. So my boys don't understand that. That is why I never brought people around them, because I wanted to protect them. And if that meant that I wasn't going to get married or be in a serious relationship, that's what it was going to be. So, because I had the task of protecting my children. And so now it's a running joke in my house that I don't have no man, but they don't understand that I didn't commit to a man because I was more committed to protecting them. And I don't regret 1 minute of it. I don't. Now, do I want a man? listen, at this point, I would take a friend, and whatnot. But as far as wanting a man, I don't know. I don't know if I even want to get married now. You know what I'm saying? For many reasons, because I just don't know, and I don't want to speak on it, but I don't even know, but a friend, somebody, a companion, that's fine. Somebody that might want to take some trips, or when I go on my trips, yeah, that's fine and stuff like that. I accept that, but I'm at a point in my life right now that I do bring something to the table. Even though y'all think I don't have a job, baby, I brings it to the table now. Don't get it twisted. I'm real limited as far, or I monitor how I spend my coins and all that stuff. But I got something to bring to the table. So don't get it twisted, okay? And so I just wanted to talk about how my children really think that I don't have a man because I'm too rough. I didn't get married because I'm too strong-headed. I didn't get married because I was protecting them. I was protecting them. Maybe I was too paranoid, but I don't regret it. It is what it is, okay? Now, let's go to these 80s parties. Now, y'all haven't lived if you didn't live through an 80s party. I'm going to tell you right now, if you did not have the privilege of having an 80s party or 80s house party, man, the house party, them parties was the only time you can invite your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and your mama would turn the lights out in the house, and it'd be pitch black dark up in the 80s house party, and all you had to worry about is when her room door opened up to come out there and do a check to make sure everybody's still on their feet. Baby, them 80s parties was something else, honey. That was the only time you was unsupervised the full time, okay? Now, my mama, where we lived in the County Park. So what my mom did, if everybody lived in the County Park, y'all know that County Park had a little opening in between the kitchen and where the stove is. It was a stove. Y'all know those big square stoves, okay? So you had an opening where my mother could come out of her room and look through that opening and see what you're doing in the kitchen. And then, you could actually see through the whole house from where you standing. So when I used to have my boyfriend over, when she allowed me to, some of them didn't come back because sometimes my mama sat in the room and she stood there, depending on how old they were. And she would stay there. So some of them didn't come back because it was too much of mama. But a lot of times mama would come out that room, she'd leave her room door cracked, and she'd come out that room, peek through that hole, because I always be in the kitchen with the chair, the table chairs. And so mama peeked through that hole and she'd be watching, see what's going on. Baby, I'm gonna tell you, 80s was something else. And let me say this. If you were dating before the 2000s, I'm gonna say before the 2000s, your dating experience was magnificent. Because I know a lot of people that's young now, they do not believe me when I tell them we did not pay for dates. Girls did not pay for dates. We didn't have to save up money. We didn't have to put together. We didn't have to go Dutch. We did not. Guys used to work to make money to take us out. I mean, I don't understand. So it's like a generation switch, because I have a hard time understanding why women have to go on dates and have money in their pocket, because I never did. And this generation is cool with it. Okay, and don't get mad at me because I'm telling you how we lived before the 2000s. But men, it was an honor for them to be able to afford taking us out and to work for it. I remember when I was in the Army, this guy, he was in the Army as well, but he wanted to take me out to a point where his supervisor said, now listen, she's used to this, that, and the other. You're going to have to get you another job if you want to date her. I wasn't a gold digger. I was just spoiled. I was used to, because his supervisor was friends with my supervisor. So, you know, they were talking. My supervisor would tell them how I was dating the Marines, and the Marine would come out and take me to carnivals and just, you know, spoil me. I mean, this Marine that I was dating when I first went to Hawaii, he introduced me to so much stuff, and he would take me, he would come get me on Friday, and we would spend a whole weekend together, and he would take me to all these nice restaurants and all this stuff, and I don't, you know, I never asked about his money. I never had to worry about his money. He paid for everything, and he left like $15, $20 tips. I'm talking about in the early 90s, you know, so when this guy wanted to date me, his supervisor had already known what I was used to. So he was like, you're going to have to, you know, make sure you got money. You're going to have to take her out. You're going to have to do this and the other. Oh, boy went and got a job at the Burger King on Post. This is how men used to do for us before the 2000s. He went and got a job at the Burger King on Post so he could date me. Now, I didn't know this until after I told him I didn't want to date him, you know, because it just wasn't my type. I like tall, slender men, and I was at the point where I wasn't going to deviate, didn't have to, you know, so I didn't date him, but I felt kind of like, dang, he went and got a whole job so he could date me, you know, but I still didn't date him because I wasn't a gold digger. We weren't considered gold diggers. We weren't considered gold diggers. We were considered women that dated. And men took us out and took care of us. And what we did was like on birthdays, maybe Christmas, we would go and buy them gifts and stuff like that. And we would treat them. That's the only time my boyfriend required me to treat him. And not really required, but he was happy. He was ecstatic when I would take him out for his birthday. He was happy about that. And he was satisfied with that. So I didn't have to do much extra because I had did my job as a girlfriend. I took care of him on his birthday. And then on Christmas, I went out and I bought all kinds of stuff. Like I was his mama, like socks and underclothes, t-shirts and stuff like that. I mean, stuff that he needed that through the source of dating, I realized that, okay, he needs some t-shirts and he needs some underwear, and I don't like them underwear, so I'm going to buy these boxes over here, or these. I'm going to tell you which ones I used to like. I used to like the long briefs. So I would go buy briefs because whatever I wanted to see, that's what I purchased. So it was that type of relationship, and he was happy. He had all these little Christmas gifts and stuff like that. And I had did my job. I was a good girlfriend. And so all of this stuff that's going on now, giving men money throughout the year and throughout the dating process and having to pay for gas. Listen, when I was dating old heads, because that's what we are, this was in 2007. When I would go see him, he put gas in my car. Without fail. He would meet me at the gas station, or we would drive to the gas station. He made sure my tank always was full. And that's the kind of stuff that went on with us. Now, if you didn't receive that before 2000, I'm sorry you didn't experience that. It's a lovely feeling. But that's what was going on with me. So when these guys be talking about this and paying for trips and stuff like that, I really don't understand. I never had to experience that. And somebody that's my age experienced having to do that, I'm sorry. That's all I can say, because I didn't. I didn't. And it could have been the fact that I was military and the military guys were a little different. I don't know. But I didn't have to experience coming out of my pocket for dates. I didn't have to experience going Dutch. I didn't have to experience any of that. I had a good time dating. I remember one time when I had bought my first house. And to get to my house, you had to know where you're going because it was a new development. And so it was wooded areas and all that stuff. So I would have, it was intentional if you came to see me because I didn't have a lot of people around my son. But this one guy asked me to cook for him. And I was like, okay, I'll cook, but you bring the food. Because see, I didn't believe in feeding you my child's food. You know what I'm saying? So I would cook for you if you bring the groceries. And it was cool. They didn't get offended. They didn't come to our house to eat up our kids' cereal and milk and eggs and bacon. They did not. Guys were so different mentally. And so when he came, he brought scallops, fish, shrimp. I think that's what he bought. Scallops, fish, and shrimp. It was all seafood. Oh, and he bought some lobster, right? Then not only did he bring that, he brought the pans to cook the stuff in. Now, I know y'all probably heard me tell this story before because this was like a new one for me. He bought the pans and the utensils to cook all of this food in. He bought the sides and he bought the condiments for the meal. He purchased all that, brought it in my house, and then guess what? He cooked. And then what he do? Left everything for me. All of the new utensils and the pans to cook with and all that stuff. He left it for me. That's the kind of stuff that I was used to. I wasn't used to all this having to put in. You know what I'm saying? I look at it that, if when I do stuff, it's really special. And I think a lot of women my age went through the same thing. It was special when we did something. It meant something. It wasn't required. It was appreciated when we contributed certain things in the relationship. And now we would, do nice things like cook, make sure he came to a clean house, make sure that when he got there, the music, the ambiance and everything was on point. That's the kind of stuff we had to worry about. What kind of music we playing? A little TLC, little Barry White back in the day, stuff like that. Tony Braxton, Anita Baker. That's all we had to worry about is what kind of ambiance he's coming to. We were his peace. We didn't do a lot of fussing back in the day. We were when guys came to our house, we were their peace. We didn't worry about, and I say we because it's me, and I'm assuming other women had the same mentality. But let me go back to singular. When I had company, I was his peace. I didn't come in there with who you been with last night, where were you, why I couldn't reach you. I didn't care because at that moment, I was there to be his peace. And I knew that as long as I was his peace, he coming back. And when he coming back, I knew he won't coming back empty-handed. So I'm like, what's my gift? What we got? What you got for me today? You understand what I'm saying? We didn't worry our men to death. We didn't do all that fussing. Because anything you can do, baby, I can do better. That was my mentality. That was my mentality. So what I'm fussing at him for? What I'm fussing at him for? You know what I'm saying? You going out with somebody, I can get a date to take me out to the movies too. Men wasn't always looking for something in return, but during the time that I was actually young and dating and stuff, they really didn't. They would build up to it, but they weren't, I'm going to feed you steak tonight and then I expect. No, they fed you steak, they went home. They took you out to the movies. They went home. They treated you to, something, a late night. They went home. Or they stayed around just to make sure you was comfortable. That stuff built up to furtherance. It wasn't just automatic, boom. Flowers and movie and damn, and boom. No, man was building up to what they want. They were showing you that I'm going to work for you. I'm going to work to be around you, to be with you. I mean, and us ladies was killing it. I mean, we loved it. We loved it. And it made us want to do for them. It made us want to be there, to be their solace. It really did. I'm telling you, I was young. I was a young homeowner. I bought my first home when I was 22. Okay. And so, I was in the gay. I had my first home, and I'm not bragging, because I told y'all, anything that is a divine blessing, you keep. I don't have that home anymore. That wasn't a divine blessing, but it was a blessing nonetheless. So I had my first home. I had 2 cars. I was 22 now. 2 cars outside in the driveway. Both of them was paid for. All of my furniture was paid for. The only bills I had, I didn't even have credit cards, okay? But the only bills I had were my mortgage and the utilities, okay? That's all I had going on. So it was like, whenever I didn't have to spend money, that was a plus for me. And the guys that were around me, they weren't trying to move in my house. You know what I'm saying? But they always wanted to make sure, hey, Mick Swain, because they call me by my last name. Do you need your nails done? Do you need your feet done? You need a pedicure? All that kind of stuff. And one guy that I was engaged to, he would come and leave his car with me. He would come, and he was the only one I ever left my son with. And it bothered me because I was so nervous. I left him with him one time because he was like, well, go ahead and take my car and go get your nails and hair done and all that stuff. I mean, he just paid for all that stuff and gave me his car to do it with. And I'm like, I got my own cars. I don't need your car. He said, no, take my car. And so I didn't understand why I needed to take his car. To this day, it still puzzled me. But I hurried up and got home because he was watching my baby, and I didn't like it. I wasn't comfortable with it. It didn't sit right with me. And that's when I knew that I could not marry anybody, because I had to protect my baby. You know what I'm saying? And so I was too paranoid. And so other things ended up breaking up off that engagement, but it was okay because I just couldn't take it. But this is the kind of stuff that dating before the 2000s was bringing us. So when your aunties tell you that, no, I can't get with that, and why is she doing this, and why is the women proposing to the men, it's the truth. We didn't have to do it. We didn't have to propose to no man. All 3 of my proposals I never, ever. And yes, I was engaged about 3 times. I say about, could be more. But I was engaged about 3 times. But I wasn't ready. I was not ready. I wasn't ready. And so, but I never had to propose ever. Ever. Now, I can't say that they were the best proposals. I mean, one of them was like, come on, let's get married. And I was like, you serious? And he was like, yeah, what day you want to get married on? I said, I want to get married on 4th of July. Then he was like, okay, let's get married on 4th of July then. Whatever you want. I was like, oh, okay. And so we were going to get married on the 4th of July, but some things happened and didn't make sense. I even exchanged rings before, where I gave him a ring, because I really thought this guy was going to be my husband. I did. I thought he was going to be my husband. So he was overseas and he sent me a ring, but I didn't like his ring. But I sent him a ring, and his ring was nice. And I ended up losing his ring. But I wanted my ring back when we broke up. That didn't happen. He was like, when you find my ring, I'll give you yours. And I mean, basically, he was mad at me, but I broke that up. It was my fault that we didn't get married. And then after we didn't get married, he came back back to the mainland, came back to the United States, and he bought a house, and he sent me a picture of that big old house with the driveway that goes around the front door all the way to the street. Y'all know before they was real popular, they were. I was like, it's okay. It was all good because I knew that it still wouldn't have worked. Even with me being in that house, I couldn't see how it would have worked. I couldn't see how I would be happy. And that's what we have to remember. We have to be happy in these happy relationships. But I just wanted to talk about that dating piece. It's so different now. The women are paying for everything and stuff like that. And I don't knock it. If you can do it, you do it. I'm not gonna do it every time. I may do it every once in a while. Hey, let me pick this up. Hey, I got you. I might do it. I don't have no problem with that. I mean, it's been done to me so much, but I'm not doing it every single time. I'm not going to be providing all the luxuries. I'm not taking you out to the movies and paying every time we go. Now, I might drive, but them cars ain't coming out of my pocket to entertain us during our courting season. I'm not doing it. I'm not cooking you my food every time while we courting. You if I want to, do something special, yes. But boo, you're going to have to put some groceries up in here. You're going to have to. And let me tell you something. I never got food stamps. But if I was a food stamp recipient at any time, anything I purchased with my food stamps, ain't nobody going to eat but my kids. Message. Nobody's going to eat it but my children. Okay? He is going to have to contribute before he gets any part of anything in this refrigerator. And I mean that. And I don't have no problem. Because, see, once I feel like somebody is trying to use me, it's so easy for me to walk away. Okay? And my mother would tell any man that I brought to her, she would tell them, do not ask her for her money. If she wants to give it to you, she will. Because that's how I am. If it's something that I want to do for you, I will do it for you. And you don't have to ask me. If I know that you're going through a hardship and I want to help you, I am going to help you. And you don't have to ask me. But the moment you ask me for my coins, I'm already down here with you. We moving downward. We're spiraling. Okay? Because that's just how I am. That's just how I am. And I don't ask anybody for anything. And I never had to ask anybody for anything. I remember I used to date this one guy. Matter of fact, I was pregnant when I dated him because it's a long story, but I was freshly pregnant when we met, right? If that make any sense. I was young, scared, but he was older, and he knew who I was. I didn't know who he was. He was one of my Masonic brothers, and he knew who I was. And what he did was, he knew who my baby daddy was and everything. So what he did was, he was already told that I was pregnant. And so he started, pursuing me and whatnot. And so he wanted to see if I was going to tell him that I was pregnant, or was I going to try to blame the baby on him, put the baby on him, But me being me, I wasn't a gold digger. And so I told him, and then that's when I found out he was waiting to see if I was going to be honest with him. So I was like, I wasn't sure. My stomach was still flat and everything. And listen, let me tell you something. My whole 9 months being pregnant, this man took care of me my whole 9 months. You would have thought that he was my baby father. He would rub my stomach. He would massage my feet. He would put my uniforms in the cleaners. He did so much for me, and that wasn't even his baby. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was used to. I was used to men treating me just like that. He cooked for me, and he'd be like, I need you to come on over here so you can eat. You know, he was very concerned about everything I did. I was in college, and he was like, "Did you do your homework? You know, can you come?" Because he was a single parent. He was like, "Well, won't you bring your stuff over here? Can you come watch my son? Blah blah blah." Because I gotta go take care of my troops and stuff like that. And I was like, "Yeah, I can come watch it." But he made sure that he was attentive to me. And he kept coins in my pocket. So like he used to like to gamble, throw dice and stuff. Whatever he want, he'll bring and put in my hand. He was like, "Here you go, you can have it." He just used to do it for fun, and he'll bring me the money, and then he get paid. He'll give me some money. I mean, that when you used to that, it's hard to go back. It's hard to go back when you're used to it. So I'm just saying, I'm telling you, ladies, if you ever find that, don't be afraid of it. Enjoy it. Let a man be a man. Let him do what he's gonna do for you. Enjoy that pampering. Enjoy it. It's nothing wrong with it. Just respect him. That's all. Just respect him and be grateful. Don't be a gold digger, okay? Because just like they're giving it to you and it's sharing with you, they'll stop it and get nasty now, okay? So don't be a gold digger. Enjoy what the men are doing for you. And I want to say this before I close. I'm looking through all of my gift bags and stuff because people always give me gifts. I love y'all so much. And they give me gifts because I do nice stuff and I don't expect anything in return. And so people give me gifts, and I got 4 gift bags right now. And I looked in that gift bag, ain't number candy. Chocolate candy everywhere. So I'm telling y'all right now, 2025, I can no longer accept chocolate candy during the even months, okay? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I cannot accept chocolate candy. So no chocolate candy in February. No chocolate candy in April. No chocolate candy in June. No chocolate candy in August. None in October. And none in December. No more chocolate candy during the even months of the year, because y'all know I love chocolate. Okay, listen, let me let you go. God loves you. I love you. Make sure you love yourself, and then you can properly go on to love someone else. And when somebody wants to love them, let them. May your week be tremendously blessed. Take care.